Okay, good morning, everyone. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or put something in the chat. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask if you can to turn your camera on so I can actually look like I'm talking to people, not just a bunch of blank boxes on my screen. Um, and this is going to be really informal. It's just going to give you some information. A lot of it was in the email that I sent out, but this is really just a chance for you to be able to ask questions. So if you have any questions, if you're nervous about what's going to happen Saturday, this is the time to ask those questions. But first of all, I just wanted to say congratulations to everybody. Y'all are graduating. I'm sure you did not expect this day would ever get here, so yay. Um, but basically what's going to happen this weekend is commencement, of course, is Saturday morning at 9:30 at Bartow. And so the doors will open at 8:30. They will not open before 8:30. No matter how much you try to get in, they will not open until 8:30 exactly. Same for your guests. They will not be able to get in before 8:30 as well. You're going to come into Bartow from the 13th Street entrance. Um, your guests will not enter that way. They'll have to come in a different entrance. They'll come up at the main entrance of Bartow, but graduates and faculty will come in 13th Street. So basically, if you're not sure what that is, just look where all of the students in gowns are going, and that's where you're going to go to. So really quick and easy. When you get there, there will actually be a table set up right when you walk in the door, and I'll be sitting at that table. So if you have any questions, feel free to stop and ask. Once you get there, there will be lots of people directing you. You're just going to walk around the concourse, and then you'll walk onto the arena floor directly. So there's no like procession or anything like that. You'll walk right into the floor and you'll go to your seat. So there'll be a little bit of downtime before the ceremony actually starts. Usually they have like photographers, you can take pictures, hang out with your fellow graduates, and just kind of it's supposed to be more of like a kind of party type atmosphere. So they try to make it a little fun. There's some music and stuff playing. Schools will be lined up in alphabetical order. So there will be a school sign with each of the seating sections. So you'll just find your school sign. There will be lots of volunteers, lots of faculty that are around to help you find it. And then the way the actual procession will happen, it's again, schools by alphabetical order. So it'll be College of Arts and Sciences. And then all of the doctoral students, so any students that are being hooded will be at the front of that line, followed by all the certificates and masters. And then you'll go to the next school. And so any doctoral students will want to be at the front of your school line, and then everybody else will kind of fall in after. You're not in alphabetical order while standing in line. There's no way we're going to try to do that. So you're just going to get in line by your group. And then it'll kind of just go in that order. So again, CAS will be first, public health, I believe, of course, is going to be the last school to go. So if you have any family members, or if you need any kind of special accommodations, you need to reach out to the commencement at uab.edu. I put that email address in the email that I had sent. If you need any accommodations, they do have parking for handicap if any of your family needs that, but you need to have an actual handicap placard to get access to that parking lot. As far as the rest of the parking goes, it's Saturday, so luckily we're not, in the middle of a work week, so we don't have to worry about traffic. People that are actually working on the week during the week. So Saturdays might be a little bit easier in terms of finding parking. All of the parking lots should be open. The 12th Street parking deck, also known as like UBOB, that'll be open as well. So you still want to give yourself plenty of time because there are a lot of graduates. So you still want to give yourself plenty of time to be able to get to campus, find parking, and get to Bartow. So you're not running in late, because that is definitely the last thing you want to do. Other than that, those are the primary things that I just kind of wanted to make sure I shared with you. So does anybody have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourselves and ask.
Will you say again what the good parking lots are to go to? I'm just coming from out of town. Not
So
familiar.
the 12th Street parking deck. So if you got the email that had this link in it, there's an actual link. There's like a sorry, it'll hyperlink to the map so you can actually see where that is. So if you click on that, but it's the 12th Street parking deck is typically where they tell people to park. It's a little bit of a walk, but it's not super far.
Okay.
And then any of the parking lots, just like the regular parking lots, should be open as well. So if you look at that map, you'll be able to see where other parking lots are. And so you can kind of get an idea as far as like estimation of where the distance is. Um, but yeah, definitely check that email and look at that link. So that'll help you kind of get a better idea on where you need to go and where the parking would be.
And then one more question. We need to get back to home after, and I have a lot of family riding with me, and we're going to a party. And so I was wondering, is it okay? I know we have to enter in a different spot than our family does, but can we, like, I want my family to meet like this one professor that I have. And so is it okay for them to come to that area and us do a few pictures, like with my family in advance if we're there really early, and
No, they
then they
won't
can
let
go
family,
over?
yeah, they will not let family on the arena floor. So what you're gonna need to do is like make arrangements to meet them outside. So either outside of Bartow, like, and you probably, if you can do that before, but still give yourself plenty of time to get inside, or you can arrange to do it after. But yeah, they won't let family on the arena floor before the ceremony.
Okay, and then I'm sorry, I have so many
Oh, no,
questions.
no, you're fine.
I've called the bookstore where they have the regalia and stuff, and they've told me this was a few weeks ago. They weren't sure what their plans were, but then I called again and they told me that they would be there starting at 8 a.m. Do you know, do they have like a certain area that they'll be, or do I need to go to the
They will not,
bookstore?
so you'll need to go to the bookstore. If you're talking about actually picking up your regalia,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you'll need to go to the bookstore to do that. So
Okay.
the bookstore will have a tent like at Bartow, but it's just going to be like they might have tassels or something. So they're not really going to have anything there, but the bookstore itself is actually open. So they'll be open all day. So you'll need to go to the bookstore to pick up. If you need to get regalia, you'll need to go there to pick it up. And then same thing if you want to take it back, like you'll need to go back over there to take it back.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Lacey, as far as I know, you're allowed to decorate your caps. Students do have they've done so in the past and they've not gotten in trouble, so yeah, I'm assuming that's okay. And then handicap parking, one of the lots is going to be behind Campbell Hall. And again, they have to have that handicap placard in order to get there. So they will not, 13th Street is actually blocked off, so nobody can drive down there. So you have to have that handicap placard in order to actually drive down 13th to get to the lot.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm at work as well, but I was going to ask, um, does the bookstore offer regalia for summa cum laude, or is that not really like I know I saw on there the email yesterday that's not really recognized, so I was
Yeah.
curious.
So the graduate school does not recognize Latin honors like, you do when you have it as an undergrad. And so there's not anything in terms of like cords or stoles or anything that you would typically get. Now, if you're part of like a student organization, or if you're part of like a National Honor Society, or even some actual programs, they will have their own like cords or stoles or anything along something along those lines, but you would get it from that group. So like I'm actually a student. I'm a part of a couple different organizations. So when I get ready to graduate, I get stoles from those organizations, but not necessarily from the bookstore or from the grad school or anything else. So you would just need to reach out to those specific groups if you are involved in any of those. And then Yvonne, yes, you are allowed to have purses, handbags. I would bring a very small one. And then if you have what are the crossovers where you can just like kind of put it up under your regalia, that would probably be the best in terms of just convenience and ease. Um, you'll also need, of course, your phone. So a purse would probably be great if you want to put your phone in it when you're done not using it. So yes, you are allowed to have those. Okay. Any other questions?
I'm still kind of confused about the name card and the phone and the QR code and how that works.
Okay, so did you get the email with the link to the QR code?
Yes. And I verified it. I took a screenshot of it. I just like when I got my bachelor's, it was a long time ago. And so
Yeah.
this is just a different process for me. So I'm not familiar with like, it just was a little confusing of like, when do we have to have our phone out?
Okay, yes. So basically what happens is before you walk up on stage, there's going to be a table and there's going to be some folks sitting there and they will scan your QR code. So it's before you walk up on stage. And so you'll just want to make sure you have the screenshot, and that's mainly because reception can kind of be iffy in Bartow. So that way you have the screenshot already with the QR code, it's right there. So they scan it and you're good to go. But you want to make sure it's also fully charged, because I don't know what school you're in. So depending on where you are, you don't want your phone to die before if you're in public health. So you don't want your phone to die before you actually get up there. But yeah, so that's what that QR code is for. They'll just scan it right before you get up. And then once you're done, once they scan it, then you're good to go. Then you put your phone back away.
Thank you.
Okay. Kelly, no, doors do not close. So the ceremony will start. So again, the ceremony starts at 9:30. They will start the procession with the platform party. So they start that usually before 9:30. So that usually starts probably a few minutes earlier. So you definitely want to make sure I would say you want to make sure you're there and probably in your seat by 9:15. Just because you don't really want to be running in there, because again, you're walking right out onto the arena floor. So you don't really want to be doing that once they've started the procession with the platform party, because it might be a little bit embarrassing. So yeah, so if you can definitely make sure you have time to get there and get seated before that platform party starts coming out and getting up on stage. But no, they're not going to lock the doors. They're not going to shut them, nothing like that. It'll just be you literally walking out in the middle of hundreds of people watching you. So definitely try to make sure you time out that correctly so you don't have to do that. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So if you don't have any, I'm going to be here until 11. So if you want to just stay on, if you want to hop off, whatever you need to do. I think the biggest thing is just don't stress about it. It's supposed to be a really awesome, special day for you. If you have any questions, we have lots of people that'll be there to help. So just don't stress. Just relax, enjoy it. That's why you have us. We can stress for you. So y'all don't worry about anything. Just enjoy your special day. But yeah, like I said, we'll be there. I'll be on here until 11. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to hop on, ask, or just unmute yourself.